Hey guys, so the first coin I want to look at today is Bitcoin Cash. As usual, I'm starting on the weekly time frame, and as you can see, we just had this huge spike up. Now, around this bottom, we were getting a bullish divergence to give people early signs to get in that there's likely going to be a turnaround. I wasn't looking at this coin, so I missed this run up. I took a few short-term trades on it, but anyway, here we are, and I'm just going to see if there's a opportunity to get in because while we've had this huge spike up, I think there might be more left in the tank to get up to around this level here. So let's take a look on the weekly. And in case you're wondering what this is here, I just drew a Fibonacci just the opposite way because when you do that, it can give you ideas for targets. So from the top down to the bottom, and oh yeah, so this actually, yeah, this lines up with the 50% fib level, and it lines up with this previous resistance level. So you see here, so when you're in a downtrend, you'll dump down and typically you'll come back up to the lows of the previous region, and then that will be your resistance. But we got resistance there, but that also lined up with this downsloping resistance line here. So this was a very significant level. And since we've already broken the 382, it's probably a good chance that we head back up to this region here. And this level will be most likely a solid area of resistance. So while it's bullish, even if you wanted to enter a short around this level, it might be worth it because you'll be able to put a stop loss just slightly above it, and you wouldn't have to risk too much, and then maybe target down here somewhere. So let's see. Let's take a look at the daily here. Yeah, okay. So look what happened here. We're already starting to turn around. We're kind of retesting this fib level. This is a bullish candle. See this long wick, and now we're already starting to press up. I mean, this I would not normally want to buy something like this. Look how extended it is. And interesting. Oh, we had a bearish divergence there. Let's check the. Let's take a look at the other chart that I like to use with a different set of indicators. So I mentioned this pretty much every video, but if you're new here, what these indicators are, this blue indicator and this red one, it's called a smart trail, and it's part of an indicator pack that I use. It's paid, but I'll leave a link for it in this description if you want to check it out. Simply put, if we're above the blue, we're in an uptrend. If we're below the red, then it's the downtrend. And they also act as dynamic levels of support and resistance. So as you can see here, we just kept bouncing off the blue line. And typically, like if you come up to this red line, it might usually act as like a level of resistance as well. So, but you can see that we switched, the downtrend began on May 17, 2021, and we've been downtrending this entire time. Brutal bear market. That's a huge drop from over $1,600 down to $86. But what just happened with this recent push is we flipped blue again. So now, I mean that's actually a big deal here on the weekly time frame. So yeah, we created it starting to uptrend now. So let's see. Let's go to the daily. And this I just drew a retracement just in case we continue to fall down, just to look for levels of support. So for example, as I mentioned, this blue smart trail will act as a dynamic support. So if the price does come down here, it also lines up with the 382 fib retracement. So that would be an opportunity for an entry. I mean, that's a long way down, right? That's around $203. I don't really think we're going to get down there, but if we can mark it on your chart, if we do, that might be a good entry right there, and you can place a stop just under it around like 192 or so you don't have to risk that much. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was talking about here. You see how they act as it's a support level. So we came down to the smart trail support, and we Yeah, we bounced off of it. And now what's happening if I take a trend line and connect the tops here, we're actually using this previous resistance, this downsloping resistance line is now serving as a support. So we came up and now we're kind of bouncing off of it. It's a retest. So hopefully we get a resistance support flip here and we start heading back up. Now, one thing I want to check, and I want to see if I get some confluence here. So let's scale this back out to the weekly. And yeah, this is another part of the paid indicator set that I use. This one's called Smart Price Action Concepts. And it maps out levels on the chart where there's been a lot of trading activity. So these are called order blocks. And as you can see, the level that I mentioned on this chart, let's go just to recap here, this weekly level right here, that marked this 50% retracement at around $376. That also lines up this region here, which is where the order block is. So there's a lot of activity in this region. So I actually think that it's highly likely that we do make our way back up to here, around 376, maybe a bit higher, 390. And the earliest the activity starts here, the block's around 360. I think we're going to end up back here. Now the question is, where could I enter? Because we're so extended, and I need to enter, I need to be able to mitigate my risk with a tight stop loss. So let's look at the hourly chart and see if there's anything here. Okay. So I also mentioned this pretty much every video. I like to mark out the previous day high and the previous day low, because oftentimes these areas will act as a support and resistance. And just to prove that, you'll see here as the price came up, see where we're fighting with this previous day high. So we formed 1, 2, 3 small kind of doji-like candlesticks before the breakout. And now what we're doing, we're coming back and we're retesting it. Now it's serving, the previous day high is serving as a support level. So it's a resistance to support flip. And that also aligns with this downsloping trend line that I drew and I just showed you. So for me to enter this, I could actually enter a position here, target the top range and place a stop under here. And I want to see what kind of risk reward I would get with that. So if I entered a long, theoretically, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but right here, I would place my stop below these wicks and below the previous day high and this downsloping trend line. I would risk 4%, and I would probably target, even if I targeted this order block up here, this previous swing, I could get about a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I can get about 8% to risk 4%. And that's a trade, in my opinion, that's worth taking. If I were to just do a longer term swing trade and hope to target the top range, let's see what kind of risk reward I can get with that. Let's go on the weekly here. And if I targeted the top, let's see. Can I drag it? Will it go? Yeah. Say I targeted 370s. No, you know what? I'll be conservative and I'll target the start of the order block region at 360. Then it's huge. Then it's a risk reward ratio of 6, 1 to 6. And I can get 27% by risking 4%. But honestly, I'm a pretty conservative trader. So what I would do, I would just target around here, go for the 2-to-1 risk reward. And then I would just I would probably take profits. And then if we broke this area, then I would look to re-enter to get that last swing up to that main high time frame resistance level. So yeah, overall, it's quite extended. If I was to enter, I would enter based on that hourly level, place my stop below what I just said, the previous day low, and that downsloping support level. And then I would target the regions I mentioned. But ultimately, I do anticipate that we'll likely make it up to this level here, around, again, conservatively 360 or so, but likely a little bit higher. Now, if you're looking at this and you're saying, I'm not buying a whole bunch of green candles, that's too extended, that's fine. You might just want to set an alert up here. And if the price reaches this level, again, I would probably target it this fib level here. Now say around 376 or so. Maybe you want to enter a short there, right, with a tight stop loss. That's an option. So let's just theoretically say you get here and you enter a short at 376, assuming that when the price gets there, you're seeing some signs of weakness or whatever. You place your stop above this high, and then you targeted. Let's say you targeted. There we go. Let's say you targeted just this previous resistance support level here. That would get you a risk to reward ratio of around 3.5, 3.57, aiming for a 27% gain and risking about 7%. So that's not bad either. So that's an option you have. Although, the way the market's going, it's pretty risky. But yeah, keep a tight stop if you're going to short this, because now we're clearly bullish, right? As I showed you, we're in a new uptrend, and I think this is the starting phases of a new bull market. So if you're going to short, aim for the nearest target and be very careful, because this could shoot up here as well, right? To the golden ratio, the golden zone here. Anyway, guys, that's it for Bitcoin Cash, and have a good day. Take care. Bye. Oh, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Bye, guys.